Okay, guys, welcome back to creating a Google site. This is part two. If you will recall, last time we talked about working on your homepage. We talked about the basic tools that you'll use to add text and images and even documents like PDFs. And today we're going to explore adding pages beyond the homepage, as well as making it pretty, the aesthetics of a Google site, such as changing fonts and colors. So really quickly before we begin, I'm going to go back to my sample site. And remember, we're looking at this through the lens of creating a site for the school nurse's office. So just a quick tip here, if you're looking for a Google site that you have started to build, you're working along on it, you haven't quite published it, a great thing to be able to search and drive is using the advanced menu. If you're looking, obviously, for something from a specific person, you could type in that specific person's email. Or if you're looking for a specific type of thing, like a PDF, etc., you can drill down by the type. So I'm going to go to Google Sites to look at all the Google Sites that are stored in my drive. So I'm going to click on that and go to search. And you'll see here that it now narrows down to just the Google Sites that I've created along the way. And here is the sample from last time for the Eastside Nurse's Office. I'm going to double click on that. And it will now open up in edit mode. Remember that edit mode is different from the actual live website because you can obviously see your toolbox here, all of your options here on the top. Remember, if you would like to see your website as you're working along in a form that looks like the actual live website once it's published, you can click on preview. And just a quick reminder that you have three options: what it looks like on a traditional desktop or laptop, what it would look like on an iPad, and finally, what it would look like on a cell phone or smartphone. Okay, once you're done with that preview, click Exit Preview, and now you're ready to roll. Again, last time we worked on the home page. Today, we're going to move into adding more pages. The exciting thing for me as I do these tutorials is that I have noticed that Google Sites has added a lot of nice new options since last time I've taken a look at it. So check those out. Now we're going to add some pages. So let's say, for example, that for the Eastside Nurse's Office, or if you're doing a classroom website, or one for the front office, for the guidance office, that you want to add an important page. So maybe an important page might be health room forms, different forms that you might need for the health room. Okay, so I'm going to add a page. All I've done is gone from the insert tab right here, which again has my good toolbox and all the things that I would add in to build a home page or any page on the website. As I click on pages, looks a little different. Now we've got our home page here, and what we want to do is we want to add a page. Okay, now I want to show you, as I hover over that, there are two options. You can add a page that would look just like that home page that we built. You also could add a link that goes out to a different website. So let's say that you want to add a link to the CDC or something like that if you're a nurse, or if you're a teacher, you want to add a link to a science teacher, you want to add a link to National Geographic, okay? You could certainly go ahead and just add a link. If you do that, notice that it will ask you to give the name for whatever page it's linking out to and the URL right there. Okay, so I do that a lot of times if I want to link out to something else like School Library Journal or something like that. But in this case, I'm not adding a link to an outside website. I'm creating a whole new page. So you want to give it a name. In this case, I'm going to name it Medical Forms. Under advanced, okay, nothing to see there. So I'm going to click done. Okay, once I've clicked done, you can see now up at the top, I have two different tabs here. I have my home, and now I have medical forms, which is blank because I haven't added anything to it. Just like before, we could change our image if we wanted to. We could change our header type and make it just a title if you wanted to, or make it a banner as before. And you can customize each and every page that connects to your home page. Another thing I wanted to show you here is with the navigation options. Up here, I believe this is it. Let's see. Yep. So I'm clicking right next to my top banner here on the settings cog under navigation settings. So you could do the top mode where your links to your different pages are up top, or you can do it the side mode if you prefer that, where you have what I call this little hamburger menu that drops down and gives you your different pages. So whatever you prefer, you can go with. I'm going to, just so we can see our pages, choose the top navigation, okay? You can make it transparent if you want to. You could make it white if you want to, make it pop out, or you can make it black, okay? So we'll choose a white background here. You can have different images here, as I've told you before, and here's some other tools like analytics, things like that, if you're interested in that sort of thing, okay? So we've got our medical forms page now. Let's add a couple more pages. Let's add, let's say, what would be another good page to go with the nurse's office? Maybe procedures for parents. Okay. And okay, so now we've got at least 2 pages to work with. Another thing I want to show you on the Pages tab, and you can see now that's added up here, is 3 little dots in Google is always magic because that gives you lots of more options. Anytime you see 3 little dots as you're hovering around, always check that out. So I could change one of these pages to make it my home page. I could duplicate a page if I wanted to. I can look at the properties of a page. Okay. I can add a subpage now. I can hide it from the navigation, or I could delete it. And hiding from the navigation just means that you won't actually see it. Okay, so maybe you want to create a page and link it from somewhere else, but you don't actually want it to be part of the navigation. You can do that. Okay. The other thing I wanted to show you is subpage. So let's say we have our medical forms on here, and then we wanted a subpage with medical forms that's more information about medicines. We can simply click on here, add a subpage. More information about medications, and it will create that subpage, okay? Stretch that out a little bit. So that's another option. And you can see now that I have this main page and now I have a subpage, it's created this nice drop down for me, okay? That you can either click on the main page or go to any of the subpages. Just to show you in the navigation, if we were to choose that side navigation, it looks like this, medical forms, and then we have our drop down, okay? Okay, so some pretty basic stuff here. Remember, for example, with medical forms, again, I'm going to keep reminding you about this, but probably with medical forms, you know, the most common thing is that you're going to add a PDF or you're going to add a Google Doc here. Again, even though we're on pages, now that we're ready to build this page, you wouldn't want to go to insert. If you double click it, it goes ahead and gives you those tools from the insert page, adding an image, text, uploading something from Drive, etc. Or you can simply click on the insert page and choose those same tools right here, the insert option. Those same 4 tools are right here, along with layouts, etc. Okay. Now, adding pages we can see is pretty easy. Trying to think if there's anything else. The only other thing to tell you is, let's say, for example, you want to reorder these. You can simply click on them and drag them up. Okay, and I can put procedures first, kind of wait until you get it, and it makes that little nice little blue line that goes up and down, and you can reorder those however you would like to. Let's say, for example, that you now wanted to make procedures for parents instead of its actual own page. I've decided I want to put it under medical forms as a subpage. I just simply grab this like I did before, And I believe that we can drag it underneath medical forms here. And now it becomes a subpage, okay? So you can see there's lots of different things you can do just by grabbing those pages and dragging them around. And remember, there's no mistakes in Google Slides because there's this lovely undo last action button. So if you ever mess up on something, you can do that as well, okay? Okay, while I'm here, I'm going to kind of go off on a side note about building your different pages, really building your whole website in general. Last time when we were on the home page, we talked about adding this PDF right here and about the sharing options. I'm going to show you an easy way to make sure that you're always good to go and you don't really have to worry about changing those sharing options every single time. Okay, so I'm going to go over here up into my drive and go to my drive. Okay, and I'm actually going to create a new folder. Okay, and this new folder is going to be like my storage space. It's going to be like my pod to store everything that I put on my website in. So again, let's do new folder. Okay. So let's title it something that will be obvious to you, easy to find. So for example, if we're talking about the nurse's office, we might name it, let's see, website nurse's office. Now, we're just creating a folder. This is not actually building the website itself. We saw how to get to that just a second ago, how to get back to your Google site. But what we're doing is we're creating a folder that we will save all of the documents, PDFs, Google Docs, anything that we want to put on our website. And then every time we go to add something to our website, we'll dip into this folder. And here's the reason why. So let me go ahead and create it. Okay, Drive is going pretty slowly here. Okay, so now that has finally popped up and there's website nurse's office, okay? So what I wanna do is, again, every time, let's say that I have a new document and it's on my desktop, I wanna put it on my website, just a little extra step here. Every time you wanna make sure you go into your drive, you find that folder, and once you click on it, you do your new file upload, okay? You find wherever that document is and you upload it into that folder, okay? But here's the beauty part, and this is what you want to make sure you do with that folder. Find it in your Google Drive. Here's mine, okay? You want to right click on it. We're going to go to the share settings. It's that very first option under open with, okay? And we're going to set this overall folder to the setting that anyone on the web can see what's in this folder. That way, every time you have a document, you don't have to go through individually and change that share setting to anyone on the web. Anytime you put it in that folder, the folder overrides what's inside the folder. So it will automatically, if you store it inside the website nurse's office folder, it will automatically set it to what we're going to put it as. So for example, I don't want it restricted because if I have it where only I can see it, when parents click on that website, they're not going to be able to see anything. It's going to have one of those 404 errors, or it's going to have a little X over it where you can't see it. So I want to change this link. Okay. I don't want it to be just anyone at Greenville County School District can see it, because again, then parents that are outside of GCSD won't be able to see it. So I'm going to do this little drop down menu, and I'm going to change it to anyone with the link. So anyone can view it, okay? Okay, anyone with the link can view that. Okay, done. All right, I'm gonna check one more thing real quick. And, Perfect. Okay. So again, create yourself a folder, name it something that's easy to find or easy to connect, that's what you're using to build your website, and put it right there. Okay. So just a side note to help you make building your website a little more easy. So again, if I'm going to go in here, double click, I'm going to add something from my drive. Okay. I want to make sure every time that I go to that website nurse's office folder. And at the same time, I want to make sure that I store all the documents in that website nurse's office folder. Okay, so there it is right there. It's empty right now, but that's where I would put all of my medical forms, anything like that I want to upload into my website. So that way it's ready to go. It is preloaded as shareable, okay, as viewable to anyone on the website. Hopefully that makes sense. For me, for example, I have a folder that says Website Media Center, and that way anytime I have something that I get that I want to put on the Media Center website, I go ahead and put it in that folder and it's ready to go. Okay? All right, so hopefully Pages made sense. If you have any questions about that, let me know. Just to show you, for example, the linking, adding a link as a page, let's copy the Eastside website URL here and just show you what that looks like while we're playing around with it. Okay, so I'm going to put the link right there. I'm going to paste it. And ooh, going crazy here. And the name might be the Eastside High website. Okay, let's just say that we wanted that as a link. Okay, so now you can see that third page there goes straight out. And notice it'll give you this little warning that you're being redirected. It goes straight out to the Eastside website. Okay. Last thing I want to explore today is themes. And this is, just like when we give our kids a project, the last thing we tell them to do is make it pretty. Make sure the content is good first on your website, then worry about making it pretty. Okay. So lots of different overall options here. I always compare Google Sites as to making websites for dummies. And by that, I mean that the options are very narrowed down. And I actually really like that. Sometimes when I've created websites with Wix or other website creators out there, there's so many options. It's really overwhelming. I kind of like that it just, gives me a few options. So right now I have this simple selected. You could change your color scheme if you wanted to. So it's showing you there different color schemes you can choose. You can change your font style if you would like to a heavier one. If you prefer that, I'm just going with the light style here and I'll click on a few of these. Here's Aristotle, Diplomat, Vision, Level, okay, and Impression. So it really just depends on your preference, your color preferences, all that good stuff. Let's say that you want a really personalized color. You can actually make a custom color here. You could put in a hex code if you know this exact number code you want it to be, or you can choose different colors if you want to along the way. So that's kind of a cool thing that you can do. Lots of different themes and colors there. Okay. My tutorial today is pretty short and sweet. As you're building your pages, if you have questions, please let me know. Shoot me an email at emolin, EMOLIN. Next time, we will talk about publishing your website, making it public, and other information related to that. Thanks so much.